Hey, what's going on everyone, this is iReviews back with another video, and today we're talking about iOS 17.3, what it turns out to actually be a really interesting update. So as you probably know, iOS 17.3 is currently on beta 1. Well, there was a beta 2, but it got pulled from Apple, but it still makes this a great update, and we have some more details to talk about which are really interesting regarding iOS 17.3. So first of all, let's just talk about what happened with the last update. So as you know, the last update was beta 2. So you can see right here, this came out at around 500 megabytes. Of course, it's smaller. It doesn't have any like big new features and changes. And the build number for this update was 21D5036C. Now, I didn't actually get to install the update on my device, as Apple just pulled it a few hours after it was released because it was causing a lot of different devices to actually brick. So that's why Apple pulled this update. Now, what's really interesting with iOS 17.3 beta 2 is that Apple actually didn't re-release it maybe the next day or 2 days after. They have pulled it and they didn't release the update yet again with the same build number, which makes things really interesting, but we're going to talk about that in a minute now. But first of all, let's just take a look at some of the new features that actually have been introduced with iOS 17.3 beta 2, of course, for those users who have been able to install this update on their device. Now, first of all, if you head on to the general settings, you know that now on iOS you will have here a dedicated section for Apple Care and Warranty, which used to be coverage and it used to be under the About section. Now, if you go here with the second beta of iOS 17.3, you will notice that when you're taking a look at the devices list right here, the device will actually, the icon of the device will show the exact color of the device that you have, so it matches the color of your own device. And we also have a new feature, of course, on iOS 17.3, which was introduced with beta 1, but it actually wasn't working. And now we have it working right here. Stolen device protection. You can see this screenshot is from iDevice Help. He got the update, and as you can see right here, the delay here, the stolen device security delay is actually working, and you can see the countdown right there. So this basically has been put to work, has been enabled with the second beta. You also get a new splash screen when you enable Apple Vision Pro video, spatial video for Apple Vision Pro under the camera app. So it basically shows you here an explanation of what you're doing and what you're getting with that feature, which is really interesting. Another feature, another change that has been introduced with iOS 17.3, which was actually part of iOS 17.3 beta 1, is a sound that your device will play when you get this screen on your device. You know that when there's water on the charger here, it will show you the screen, which is basically a screen that lets you know that liquid has been detected and your device cannot actually charge until it's dried out. But now it will show the screen, but also will play a sound continuously while you have the screen on your device. There's also a smaller change here on the App Store, but this was introduced with iOS 17.3, but then it was pushed to other devices. This is basically a server-side change. You will see a change here on the UI for the today and the date showing right here at the top of the App Store. Now, besides these latest changes and feature, of course, iOS 17.3 has some great features which you probably have heard about. The collaborative playlists are back on iOS. Apple actually released them with betas of iOS 17.2, but they didn't make it to the final release. They're back here with iOS 17.3, and we also now have reactions to songs that have been added by other people to that playlist. And of course, the big new feature, the stolen device protection, which is actually a really interesting feature. And now let's just quickly talk here about iOS 17.3 beta 2 and what really happened there. Now, if you have iOS 17.3 beta on your device, doesn't matter if you have installed beta 2 or you have still the beta 1, if you go to the feedback app, you will see this message which says important. This is of course from Apple, and it says that it has been withdrawn due to an issue that prevent a small number of devices from starting up. That's the issue that has caused Apple to actually pull this update. But what's really interesting in my opinion is that Apple didn't re-release this update. First off, I thought that it would take Apple just a few hours to actually release it, but they didn't. which makes me believe that the next week when Apple releases a new update to iOS 17.3, which will be again beta 2, it should most likely have a different build number, which makes this update very close to release. I don't think Apple is releasing again a beta ending with a C on the build number. Probably it will be the B update, which means that then we will have another beta before the RC and the final release, which is really interesting. Now, let's just quickly talk about the schedule here before I show you guys why this actually is a fabulous update to install on your device, even though it has some problems with beta 2. Now, if we get the next beta right here on the 9th, most likely, then we will get another beta here, the RC, and then towards the end of the month, the 29th or the 30th, I believe Apple will release iOS 17.3 to the public with just a few features, but some really important ones, which are again great. So why I think this is actually an amazing update. Let me show you guys what's happening here. So you can see right here we have a Geekbench test of iOS 17.2. This is the final release of iOS 17.2, and you can see it has an amazing score. It is at 7,411 on the multi-core score, 2,963 on the single core score. But even with beta 1, iOS 17.3 is still way better than this. You can see the score right here. We have 7,455 on the multi-core score, while we also have an increase there on the single core score, which is again amazing, almost 3,000 there at 2,969. This makes this a fabulous update, and you can even notice it on the everyday use. It is a great update. It works as it should. It's very smooth, and it's very fast as well. And for a beta 1, this is just an amazing update. Now, something that iOS 17.3 is lacking on currently is battery life. So taking a look here at the battery life, you can see the last few days here, the kind of battery life that I got on my device here. It's actually not that bad, but it could be way better, and hopefully this will be improved with the next beta. So let's just take a look here at the last few days. You can see with around 65% battery, 6 hours and 54 minutes on screen. Then we have here 5 hours 20 minutes with 60% battery, 50% battery, 6 hours and 41 minutes. Again, it's not the worst that we got with iOS 17, but it could improve a lot in the next betas. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. This is what is happening with iOS 17.3. It is bad. I know a lot of people had to restore their devices, but again, I believe this is an amazing update, and you will notice the performance that this update has, even though it doesn't have a large number of new features and changes. So that's basically it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to see more iOS 17.3 videos, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like if you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you on the next video.